Our second guest is the Director of Development with the COD Foundation, Janie Oldfield. She is a great asset to the college when it comes to community outreach, as well as a longtime friend of the MAC. Welcome to the show, Janie.
It's great to be here.
It's great to have you here.
Thanks.
So, Janie, you used to do what I do, and now you do what you do, which is outreach, which is a fancy word for
Development.
which is a fancy word for raising money.
Filling the gap, we call it.
Filling the gap, that's right. Can you explain about all the different programs you help us fill the gap for?
I absolutely can. And it's part of what I truly love about my position is that the college had the foresight so many years ago to really create a cultural center. So most of my activity is tied to raising funds, building support for the MAC, for New Philharmonic, for WDCB, and for the Cleve Carney Art Gallery. So that's where most of my energy goes. There are all kinds of other program funds that support specific academic activities, scholarships, but most of my time is spent filling that gap between what the box office brings in and what's really needed to make it as magnificent as it is.
You know, you brought up a great point, because I think a lot of people think, well, we bought a ticket. Why do you need to fundraise? And I don't know if a lot of people understand the model of how the arts really works. And maybe do you want to talk about that for a minute?
I'd be happy to talk about that because I think that the nonprofit arts, by the very virtue of the fact that they're nonprofit, is that we're trying to serve a broader audience, and in doing that, we're trying to make accessibility as great as possible.
Right.
And that means keeping ticket prices low. So we're very fortunate that there are loyal people who embrace the arts, understand the importance of the arts to our quality of life, to our education, and those people help us fund the gap. And it's fun to watch people discover that they care so much that they want to invest in it. But really, the nonprofit situation is that a box office typically covers anywhere from 50% of expenses, and for the MAC it's closer to 70, somewhere in the 60 to 70%. But that leaves a large chunk that does come through grants and foundations, but the core of what we need comes from individuals, and we are so fortunate that there are people that want to
Very lucky.
contribute to keeping it as wonderful as it is.
Well, and I think what a lot of people don't understand too is, like, why are there ticket fees? Just put it in the price of the ticket. And what they don't understand is every dollar that comes in for a ticket, a big percentage of that goes to the artist. The artist doesn't want to pay for box office fees. The artist wants that ticket for them. So we make our money on the popcorn, the soda, the parking, but we don't charge for parking.
That's
so there's all these things that we don't really charge for.
Well, and I think there's something we also don't actually tell our patrons very often, and that's that those box office fees aren't ours.
Right.
That's the fees we pay to have the software, to keep their purchase secure, to keep everything recorded so that there never is a seating problem. All of that, that all costs money.
Yeah, and it goes to the ticket company.
It sure does.
Yeah. So this is where your money goes. This is what the moral of the story is. So, and the other thing is, you know, I heard one time somebody say, since Shakespeare times, most of these theaters have remained about the same size that they've been for hundreds and hundreds of years, right? So the acting prices go up, the music goes up, everything goes up, the scenery goes up, the labor to build the show comes up, everything has gone up, but the amount of seats stay the same,
don't
right?
change.
Right?
That's
so you're still trying to support all of these expenses that inflate over the last 50 years with the same number of seats. And there's another reason why it's difficult in the arts to always break even. We can't just bring in 5,000 people to cover the cost.
No,
you know?
and when you really look at it, part of what people value about the MAC is the intimacy of that experience.
Right.
And so while it's a plenty large hall to have a great communal experience, it's not a hall that can support the mega stars because there aren't enough seats. People couldn't afford to buy a ticket.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So tell me about some of the programs you're working on right now. I know one of my favorites is Treat Seats.
Treat Seats is the product of a vision from a MAC director who said, I have a dream, and a donor came along who wanted to invest in helping us subsidize tickets so that those who had no ability to actually pay for a ticket could still have access to live performances. And in particular, that's children and families. And so many of us in DuPage County are so fortunate. This particular donor has a long background in arts education and really embraced the fact that there are children who will connect with the arts if we just create a pathway. And that pathway was created with an endowed fund, so it will always be there, that's called Mactastic Treat Seats, tickets for kids and families. And for all of us who work at the MAC, what a thrill it is to realize that a young person is experiencing something. They just glow when they realize there are real performers on the stage. This isn't a movie. And to be able to provide that opportunity to hundreds every year, and not only children, their families.
Right, and some seniors
and
sometimes.
some seniors. Certainly anyone who's on a fixed income and really has no ability for access, and veterans, I believe we've included
helped.
with the fund. And this particular donor was very gracious about saying, yes, it's not only for children. It's for people who have an opportunity to connect but would never make that happen if we weren't able to subsidize a ticket and let them experience the joy that comes with a live performance. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Well, and for those of you at home, what we do is we ask people to sponsor a child, an underprivileged child or a senior or somebody who's going through a bad time in their life, like through bridge communities, and we give them tickets to come see a live show and try to escape some of their problems for a while.
And it's easy for those of us who are a little bit more fortunate to do that.
It is.
We can make a donation at the box office, at the MAC. We can go online to atthemac.org, and up on the top right, there's a little button in the taskbar that says support. And when you click on that support button, there's a purple donate button right there.
So tell me what other programs you're doing right now, like for New Phil. Are you doing anything special for New Phil right now?
You know, New Philharmonic was just named the Professional Orchestra of the Year by the Illinois Council of Orchestras.
Which is so exciting.
I know, you well know this.
So exciting. But now everybody knows.
Now, now our
so
viewers
true.
know that. And it is a tremendous honor, and to be cited around the state is so thrilling. So at this moment, we're doing a little campaign for people to invest in the fact that we have an award-winning orchestra.
Right.
And that orchestra provides so much musical enjoyment, but also so much arts education, so much an ability for the community to connect with the artists, because it's our very own New Philharmonic. They're here, they're in residence with us, and imagine if we didn't have them. We'd probably have you booking 1 or 2 orchestras a year, and we have the opportunity to hear the orchestra 5, 6, 7 times a year.
And Janie, people can sponsor a chair, correct? If you want to sponsor a musician?
Yes.
And they can call you.
They can call me.
And sponsor their very own professional musician.
That would be at 630-942-2466. We started a chair sponsor program last year, and we started with a group of loyal donors who wanted to sponsor a chair. So actually, you're not sponsoring the musician, only from the standpoint that we're not applying those funds directly but it creates a connection between the musician and the community, and it's been so much fun. And just after the last concert a few weeks ago, we had one more chair sponsor join the ranks.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, it's very thrilling.
Janie, thank you so much for all you're doing to help keep the arts alive at the MAC.
It's the most wonderful opportunity. It means so much to me to see that this center will thrive, because patrons become donors.
That's right. Thanks, Janie. For more information on how you can help the arts thrive in our community, visit atthemac.org and click the Support the Mac link at the top of the page. You can also contact the College of DuPage Foundation directly at 630-942-2462. On display in the Cleve Carney Art Gallery June 1st through July 29th is One, the first ever juried emerging artists exhibition at the MAC. This show is intended to feature and celebrate local contemporary artists. It will showcase a diverse range of media and styles, and it will give the community a great opportunity to see our local talent.